Hello and welcome to a VSA Capital video. I'm Ollie O'Donnell and I'm joined today by Ian Tchacos, Executive Chairman of ASX listed ADX Energy. Ian, thanks for joining us. It's not been that long since we last did a video, but you've had some more good news on your Austrian projects. So thanks for joining us and welcome back.
Pleasure, Ollie. It's good to be back.
Yeah. So Welchau, it's been on pause for a little bit of time, but you've had some good news from the Austrian courts this week. Perhaps you can just give us a quick overview of the asset in terms of your ownership and a bit of background before we get into the technical and the legal side of things.
Yes, certainly. I mean, Welchau was we drilled in Q1 2024. Then we set ourselves up for testing. Because we're very close to a national park, we're allowed to test during the winter months. We commenced our testing on the first of three intersected zones, which was the bottom zone, which was a very highly fractured carbonate. The first test flowed predominantly from the lower fractures, and it tested water. So when we drilled the well, we had good hydrocarbon indications throughout. We also recovered an oil sample via an MDT. So yeah, the first test was pretty disappointing. And then we decided we'd come to the top of the structure and test the upper zone, which is called the rifling formation. And we were in the process of testing that, and we got shut down. Now, the reason we got shut down was we had environmental clearances from the state of Upper Austria. And typically what happens in Austria, or what has happened in Austria historically, if you had an objection to some kind of environmental clearance or a building license or whatever, you could still go ahead until that, if you like, objection was heard. If the objection was negative, then you'd have to stop. Now, there was a High Court decision against that process, and as a result, we had to stop until the objections were heard by two basically Greenpeace NGOs. We went through that entire process. Unfortunately, the process has taken 8 months, and the District Court of Austria has come to the conclusion there was no case for their objections. Now, the objection was not against us, it was actually against the environmental authority that issued the licenses, and basically the court decided that the authority had gone through all the appropriate processes, and we had gone through all the appropriate, if you like, operational processes, and that we could now resume testing. Now, resumption.
So what does that mean from a legal perspective in terms of your prior permits? Are they all now valid to carry on with testing in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the way it works is you make an application for a particular operation. So the applications we made were originally to drill the well and then obviously to test the well. So they objected to both of those. But what's important is, we've built quite an impressive location there at the foothills of the Alps. We also not only see, potential at Welchau itself, if you like, to the depth that's been drilled at this point, which is around 1,700 metres, but we also see what we call duplex structures, which is repeat structures deeper down, probably approximately 1,000 metres. And they can also be reached by this same well. So obviously we want to go ahead, crack on with testing what we've already drilled and evaluate that properly. So there's a number of zones that haven't been tested. And then what we also want is the ability in the future to drill deeper to these deeper zones. I guess when we started drilling this, we originally thought that this would be a gas condensate, if you like, prospect. In actual fact, we found oil. From drilling this structure, what we've actually realised is there's been about 3 different stages of migration, both gas and and different stages of oil migration. So it is an area that's had, hydrocarbons, and they're all, if you like, sweet hydrocarbons. Both the gas, the oil is very light, high quality oil, so you'd be happy with both. But deeper down, we get closer to the original discovery of Mollin, which actually produced around 4 million standard cubic feet of gas when it was originally drilled. They were, again, looking for much deeper structures. But it also puts us more into a gas window. It also improves, if you like, the possibility of a better sealing of the entire structure. So that's always a concern with fractured carbonates, that you may have had some breach of the structure. So, yep, sorry.
You've got a specific window from this announcement where you can test this winter. So what's going to be the plan for the near term?
Yeah, look, the near term, we have to put together a program to re-enter the well and do some bottom hole sampling of the rifling formation. That formation is the upper formation. It's already got a completion in the ground. Now, typically, a lot of these carbonates tend to be quite tight and require acidization. So right now, I'm talking without actually conferring with our drilling manager and petroleum engineer, but most likely what we do, depending on the results of sampling, we then look at then going in and testing. That was always part of the original program. So yeah, we'll be, over the next month or two, we'll be looking at how we can put that spread together to be able to go and do that, economically and safely.
And this ruling now means you can get back on the ground at Welchau, but you've also just had permits awarded in offshore Sicily. So how does it affect the overall activity program for ADX?
Yeah, look, I mean, Sicily is right now is more of buy more seismic, more desktop studies. Obviously, there's been a lot of exploration going on around us. I mean, this is an area where if you went there 5-6 years ago, there was nothing going on other than an onshore field. Now you've had the Argo Cassiope field that was developed by ENI that started production in late 2024 in October. So they're producing from very similar type reservoirs that we're targeting. So basically what we've got here is historic exploration work, seismic drilling, and what we've been able to see on seismic in the shallow is gas effects on 2D seismic, but we've also seen evidence of gas in the same, if you like, Miocene play, which is basically a biogenic gas play. And that's what we're going to be looking at with additional seismic and hopefully additional well data. Because historically, what we were focusing on was deeper oil rather than gas, and there's more data out there that we can analyse. Also, we actually operated acreage just to the south of where we are in Pantelleria Island. We actually shot 3D seismic there, and we could see the same thing there as they're seeing in Argo Cassiope, which is Miocene sands and lots of stacked pay. So the beauty of that acreage is it's shallow to drill, and we've already got data to play with. So there we'll be working on coming up with a revised resource assessment, and then going into a more of a potentially a seismic program, seismic reprocessing, potentially 3D, and then attracting a farm-in because obviously we're in this at 100%. In Austria, alongside Welchau, we've now permitted 3 wells, and this is the shallow gas play. Again, we're targeting a play which has a very high positive success, anywhere from 60 to 80%, and we'll be drilling at least 2 wells, most likely 3 wells, and again, they'll commence probably late January, February, and so that'll be all going on pretty much at the same time. So first quarter next year is going to be a pretty hectic period as you know, it all seems to happen at once in this industry.
Excellent. Well, look, Ian, thanks very much for joining us today. We'll certainly be looking forward to the next update and the results of the work programs across all the assets.
Thanks, Ollie. Pleasure talking to you.